Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Real Talks. I'm your host, David Steele. Glad to be back after just a day of doing things, and I hope everybody had a fantastic weekend. I hadn't spoken to anybody since Friday. This is a super side show, guys, on a lot of different levels. So anybody who read the tease knows there's a lot of shakeup in the Marvel, Disney, and Star Wars world. We'll get to that a little bit later. We got Flash news. We have everything and everything you can possibly imagine. We are going to start with some super, and I mean when I say super, super breaking news. And it's so breaking, guys, I don't even have pictures for it or whatever. It just hit my email no more than 5 seconds ago. And I am talking about a director that basically she won the Academy Award this last year, actually. And I'm talking about Sarah Polley. And according to Deadline, and I mean, this literally came across the wire like 10 minutes ago, she is going to be directing a live action Bambi movie for Disney. As I said, no pictures. I'm just reading this right off the top. After winning the Best Adapted Screenplay Oscar for Women Talking, Sarah Polley is on to the most epic undertaking of her filmmaking career thus far. As Deadline understands that the filmmaker is in talks to helm a live-action take on Bambi, and it's in the very early development at Disney. Multiple sources tell Deadline that the project is a musical to feature music from six-time Grammy winner country star Case Musgraves, Maya Fritzman, Blue, and Noah Harbison, played in Transparent, wrote the most recent draft of the script, and Chris and Paul Wentz stepped the field will produce. The studio first signaled its intention to adapt Bambi for live action back in early 2020, bringing Geneva Robertson Decor and Leslie Beer aboard the writers and depth of field to produce in January that year. No word yet on when the project might be put in motion, given unpredictable strike conditions for starters. The film is, of course, the coming-of-age story of Bambi, the young deer struck by tragedy who counts among his woodland pals, the rabbit Thumper and his skunk named Flower, an adaptation of Felix Salten's 1923 novel Bambi, A Life in the Woods, released by RKO Radio Pictures in 1942. The original Bambi was just the fifth animated feature ever to emerge from Disney. The film, helmed by David Hand and assorted sequence directors, grossed over $267 million worldwide, landed Academy Award nominations for Best Sound, Song, and Original Music Score, and thus has endured as a classic. Over the years, essentially continuing to traumatize young viewers with his famous depiction of the death of Bambi's mother to this day. The pick is entered in the National Registration of Films and Library of Congress, given its cultural, historic, and aesthetic significance in 2011, December of that year. Polley's take on Bambi will be the latest in a long line of long-action films to be adapted by Disney and its animated features. The most recent installment in this series, which has done a huge business for the studio, is the Rob Marshall-helmed Little Mermaid, which has grossed over $414 million since bowing into theaters on May 26th. Polley will certainly be in good company if and when the deal closes, joining a list of directors tapped by Disney for these films that include Jon Favreau, Kenneth Branagh, Nick O'Carr, Guy Ritchie, Tim Burton, and Robert Zemeckis, just to name a few. Polley's acclaimed ensemble drama Women Talking, based on Miriam Towers, drew on the novel The Real 2010 story of a Bolivian Mennonite colony to examine the impossible choice grappled with the women of an isolated religious community following numerous incidents of sexual assault by the men they thought they knew. Polley directed the film from her script, seeing it released by United Artists, and it's followed by Telluride. It earned a CCA Award, WGA Award, Golden Globe nomination, and other major accolades, including her Oscar. Other directorial credits for Polley include the WDA and Cinema Eye Honors Award documentary Stories We Tell, examining the family of storytellers, in which she's a part in acclaimed dramas Take This Waltz and Away From Her. She began her career as an actor, starting out as a child on films such as like The Adventures of Baron Munchausen, before going on to star in films like Dawn of the Dead, and she's represented by WME and several others. So that's right off the wire, guys. Hello, guys, and hope all is well with you. I was just talking about literally the thing that just came across the wire, and that is Sarah Polley is going to be directing a live action version of Bambi. As I said, no pictures. Literally just came across the wire. Um, what do you think of this? I mean, is this something you'd be in favor of seeing? I mean, we've had all of these films in the past 7 or 8 years come out, whether it's Beauty and the Beast, whether it's The Lion King, whether it's Cinderella, now Bambi, The Little Mermaid. Is this something you want to go see? Is this something you take your kids to go see? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and I'm going to get back to everybody.